Today we had an issue, so the tools may not be working. What exactly issue you are having? Because the AT&T tool can give you a lot of options. You can record and you can chat. You can use VoIP. There are many things. That's the reason I'm trying to use it.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, the video also you can play in media player and other stuff when you install record using AT&T. That's the one.
Okay, okay. I think even with this one, I think we can play the recordings in media player.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fine. Anyway,
Yeah.
if it works for you, that
Yeah.
should be fine.
Sure.
Okay, all right. Let me introduce myself. I'm Prabhakar.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I have 10 plus years of experience and I'm a dual CCA certified into specialization into routing switching and security service provider. So these are the three tracks, I need to work with.
Okay.
Yeah. Uh, do you have any, before starting the discussion, I just wanted to hear from you. So do you have any basic background of the
Yeah,
networking?
I do have a basic platform, and mine is testing. And recently, I've decided that I'll learn the networking as well. So I'm just trying to learn networking now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
Previously, I was working with Satyam and then with Wells Fargo. So I moved back
Satyam?
to use. Yeah, Satyam.
Okay.
Yeah, and then with Wells Fargo for some more time, and then I moved back to US actually.
Okay, that's great. Even so you have a basic background what is what the network. Let me tell you. So here you can see on the my screen, right? So
Yeah.
networking have a three different kind of job roles. In the real time, if you go, the first job it is going to be talking about the system admin. What the system admin role exactly? The system administrator is especially he's going to be the job role of the system administrator to monitor or install any kind of operating system, OS we can call it.
Okay. Yeah. Mm.
So operating system like it's a kind of applications which we are accessing.
Yeah.
Applications in what exactly like so there are a different type of applications. For instance, my business demand a SAP application. So SAP application is business related. So whenever like you are the end user, you are just accessing everyday the application. But who is responsible to install and manage this application, right? So there should be some guys who is going to operate and to maintain, installing, and they are ensuring the services are running, you know. And there are other services apart from like the DHCP, which is Dynamic Host Control Protocol, which we call. And there are other called DNS. So what exactly this provide? DHCP provides an IP address to whenever I'm an end user which is connecting coming from the different outside and just connecting my laptop. As soon as I connect, I'm going to get a IP address which is logical. So what exactly provide? It can provide you, access of all resources based on the IP address. So what is the guarantee he's the internal user or he's the external user? So there should be some kind of username and password.
Okay. So these resources is it in terms of a particular PC, or is it in terms of network, or what is it exactly?
No, actually I'm telling you the system admin role, so what he's going to be maintained. So
Okay.
yeah. The username and password is going to be stored on the AD. AD is something called Active
Active
Directory.
Directory. Yeah, I heard of it.
Yeah. So DNS, DHCP, all applications, monitor and manage and troubleshoot it by the system admin. The
Okay.
system admin role is more related to like to support any application related to computers.
Okay.
So that's what his primary job, role and responsibility. So when it comes to networking, what exactly networking we are going to be? We are going to be managing the LAN and WAN.
Okay.
LAN stands for local area network and WAN stands for
Wide
wide
area
area.
network.
So what exactly the LAN stands for and why we need a LAN. So LAN is local area network is something whenever you are connecting any computer. For instance, if we take one example, I have a one computer, right?
Yeah.
So this is my computer. When I have any computer, I have there is a something a port which is connecting, which we are calling as a LAN port, which will be connected to RJ45. So these ports will be we are calling as the card which is connected to computer, which we are calling as a NIC, NIC card, network interface card we are calling that.
Okay.
And the network interface card having a cable connection which we call copper cable. The copper cable which will be connected to. And the copper cable goes to where exactly? In the real time, if you see about, it will go to the wall jack.
Yeah.
This, this one we are calling as a wall jack.
Okay.
Okay, so this wall jack goes to where again? There is a cable is connected underground of the floor completely, which is hidden, so you cannot able to see. By default, what happened whenever you are the employee of a company, you are just connecting the LAN port and using the cable, but the cable is connected to wall jack. Again, from wall jack where it is connected, there are cables already has been made from underground which goes to the other call the patch panel we call as this one.
Okay.
Okay, so this one is the patch panel. My writing is not good that way. I'm not a champion of the expert in things, right?
It's okay.
Okay, so this wall jack goes to where exactly? It will goes to there is a device is called switch. The device's name we are calling as a switches or hubs. So any of the devices which is going to be connected. So these devices are holding all kind of ports exactly where it is connected, and there are interconnections connected like so one switch going to be connected to other switch like this way. And from here again there is a one more connection is going to be provided to other computers. So this kind of scenario you can able to see. To maintain, who is going to be responsible to maintain? To maintain these NICs, to maintain these cables, to maintain these devices from the patch panel, to maintain this wall jack, to maintain this switches, to maintain the other switches. So there should be some guys have to be responsible, right?
Yeah.
So we are calling as a network administrator.
Okay.
Network administrator role is to manage the all kind of devices. There are a different type of devices apart from those. Like I will give you a name of few examples. Like one is hubs, which is the layer one devices. There is a one called repeaters. The third one called switches, unmanaged, which is just plug and play kind of. So we are not going to be managed.
Okay. So
So
are these switches the hardware is a physical device or is it a software device?
there are two type of like switches also have a hardware and the unmanaged switches. What exactly it is going to be? It hold a operating system, but where you don't have any control. What exactly it does? It's a built-in software which is going to be a programmed in a defined. All ports going to be switching based on this mechanism to default. Like switching mechanism is going to use the MAC control learning. and forwarding the packets based on the layer 2 kind of, So there are other devices which we call as a bridges. Now it no more exists, but earlier it was a software based bridges we are calling that, but now it is no more available. And
Okay.
in the switches we have a different type of other switches also. Managed switch and the managed switches with modular. So I'll talk about each and in detail every technology, what exactly the functionality of each device.
Okay.
So this all devices comes under the LAN device, local area network. We are calling as a local area network,
Network.
right?
Yep.
So to maintain all these devices, the network administrator is responsible to manage, maintain, configure everything end to end. He is responsible. And apart from those devices, there are one more devices called so these we are calling as a routers.
Okay.
So what exactly it does, for instance, I am located in Hyderabad office.
Hmm.
I am located in Hyderabad, and the other branch is located in, might be it is located in US, or might be located in somewhere. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
So how they are going to be able to communicate between these two offices? There should be some kind of devices to connect, right?
Yeah.
So what is that devices we are calling as a, that devices we are calling as a routers. So routers are especially designed to provide a connection between the offices. So that devices we are calling as a WAN devices. WAN stands for wide area network.
Okay.
So what exactly the functionality of this to provide and ensuring to providing a connectivity between the offices. They are a dedicated device which is designed to switch the packet from one network to other network, one location to other location. So
Okay.
there are other type of networks also we have apart from WAN. So there is a something called MAN. MAN stands for Metropolitan Area. What exactly it does? For instance, I have in Hyderabad, so I don't have only one office. I may have a 10 offices located in the different. For instance, I may have a Punjab, I may have a Banjara Hills, I may have a different location. Likewise, 10 locations wanted to communicate each other, and I may have two branch offices, two head offices. So everyone wanted to communicate each other. So how it is possible? The metropolitan area network which can provide interconnection between these offices. So still they are going to use what kind of devices? Routers. The term we are calling as a different LAN, MAN. But end of the day, all these components and this device is dealing by the who? The network administrator. So network administrator role is to maintain, manage this all devices. Okay.
Okay.
There are many other devices apart from named as like firewalls, load balancers, you know. So I haven't described in detail. I'm just talking about the base level. So what devices mainly the network engineer role in the real time. The third role you can see the hardware engineer. What exactly the hardware engineer are doing in the company. For instance, today the system admin is just managing the services, the operating system, the applications he supports, right? So
Yeah.
what in case there is a hard disk failure? What in case there is a memory failure? What in
Okay.
case there is a some of the circuit failure? So there should be some dedicated engineer who is going to diagnose the problem and justify whether this can be repairable or unrepairable, right? So
Yep.
on what basis? So they are the only dedicated person who is checking on the hardware level. They really don't know how the software level and the network level it is going to be work. They may have the basic idea, not in the core. So all they are just doing, checking the circuit, whether it is going to be, they are going to run some kind of diagnostic and so testers and other stuff. So based on that they are going to justify it can be repairable or not. So we are calling it a hardware. So these are the three different platform, jobs you can able to see. And apart from this, there are other kind of job roles also you can able to see. For instance, like the scripting. Scripting in the sense who is always developing the programs. And the other role you can able to see testers, a protocol testers. If you heard about that, what exactly they are doing when you are writing any script like a protocol. For instance, I have one of the protocol. DHCP is one of the. It's a protocol. It's a provider services to a different computer's IP address. So what happened? They are trying to do some enhancement on the DHCP, which can have a multiple option like a binding with the MAC address. Every time whenever I connect, I used to get only the same IP address or the timing interval 24 hours. Like that, there are many enhancements has been done. So doing this R enhancement, what happened? They are writing the programs, and after writing the programs, what happened? They are going for the testing. So who is going to be doing the testers? So there are a different type of job roles you can able to see. So end of the day, what it comes under the networking. Networking is a huge platform. It's an ocean where you have a different kind of sectors you have. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So any questions, Sushma?
No, currently no questions actually.
Okay, back to network engineering. Let me describe about there is a company called, have you heard about Cisco? Cisco is a company which manufactures all kind of devices like routers, network devices I can say.
Yeah.
So Cisco is the company which is going to be responsible to manufacture all kind of devices. They design a course curriculum like in a way where people in the industry networking world to understand in a better way. They design a separate courses. So let me see what kind of courses it design. Yeah. Okay, in CCNA there are different type of platforms we have. So CCNA first of all stands for Cisco Certified Network Associate.
Associate. Yeah.
So what exactly this used for? So let me describe.
So, Prabhakar,
Yeah.
do we have any validity for CCNA certification? I mean, is it a, I mean, how long is it valid?
Yeah, I'll explain you that. This part I'm going to explain you right away.
Okay.
That's the reason I'm just. Can I minimize this one?
Yeah, sure, sure. You're not able to do it? Maybe you can go to desktop actually.
Okay, I think it is better now. Yeah, so you can see here Cisco. Cisco is a manufacturing company where, this company what exactly provide? It can provide a network related devices. It manufacture all kind of components which we talked about, and network interfaces and the cables, and it is going to be manufacturing, it will manufacture, routers, switches, hubs, firewalls, load balancers, many other devices. So this is basically one of the company which, world famous 90% of the market has been occupied by the Cisco. So Cisco designed in a hierarchical structure where, so people to start, where to start exactly in the networking. So for instance, I know the basic knowledge of hardware and networking. For instance, a computer. What is computer? What exactly functionality? So how you can access internet? So how you can connect a cable? You need to know the basic foundation. So after that, doing this basic foundation, the first course has been designed like the CCNA. CCNA stands for Cisco Certified Network Associate. What exactly the CCNA course designed for? So people who don't have a knowledge or may have a basic foundation of idea what exactly the network, what exactly the system, what exactly the computer does. So, this is the basic entry level of the course where it's going to be talked about a little bit of, for instance, like let's take an example of the routing switching.
Okay.
So under the CCNA, there are a lot of different flavors we have. So for instance, one of the track you can take example as the routing and switching. So what exactly the routing and switching provide? Just now we talked about a little bit more. So routing and switching provide a LAN, which is local area network, WAN, and MAN, right? So what is meant by LAN, local area network? For instance, any kind of devices which is connecting like a hubs or managed switches. What is LAN exactly does? What is the IP address logically? So why we are using the LAN? So why we need, for instance, in the organization, I may have a different type of department. Let's say it's department, marketing department, HR department, right? So how those departments are going to be communicate in the network? So they are using a computers going to be connecting the cable. The cables are going to connect to there is the devices called switches. The switches are interconnected between in the local to the offices.
Okay.
There are a different type of offices we have. For instance, it's a small organization. So I may have a 500 users. So that we are calling as a SOHO organization, a small office home office. So for instance, I may have a different offices. Like example, within the building, first floor I may have 1,000 seaters, second floor I may have 10,000. So that kind of organizations we call as a medium scale organization. There are other type of organization you can see, enterprise. What is meant by enterprise organizations? For instance, I have a buildings located in different locations. So for instance, from every half kilometer I may have a building, one building located in one location, the other building located in other location. So where we are calling as a campus environment. If you can see, there are universities, right?
Yeah.
Universities are located in the completely 5 to 10 kilometers at distance, but they have the offices located in the at different locations, but still they are intercommunicated, so interconnected, so they can still able to communicate. So how it is possible? It is all under comes under connecting through the WAN devices, the LAN devices, I can say. So
Okay.
which we call as the switches. Okay, so to
So,
communicate all these devices, we are calling as a LAN, local area network. So we need to know the router switches, exactly what is the functionality of that, what exactly the router does, what exactly the switches does. So how you can use the unmanaged switches, what is the advantage using a managed switches? Is it really mandatory? And where to use, when to use? And what is the layers which is using? What is the protocols which is using inside of that? So how you
Okay.
can configure the best practice. This is all going to be talked about in the routing and switching platform.
Okay.
But here in the CCNA, it is going to be talked about the base foundation still. It is just like the components which you are going to deal. What exactly it is going to be. When it comes to CCNP routing and switching. So CCNP stands for Cisco Certified Network Professional. Okay.
Okay.
So which we have a routing and switching the specialized, and why it is designed the professional level course, because in the associate level we are just talking about the component. So you can the SOHO, the small office or home office organization like a 500 users who is sitting in such kind of LAN environment, you can able to manage easily. But when you go to any other organization, like the big organization, like example, so 5,000 to 10,000 users sitting in the office. So that kind of environment, you need to have a hands-on experience where it is going to be demand. There are a lot of every day, day to day, you need to do troubleshooting as well as a configuration device, a little bit of designing and maintaining. So all the stuff can be possible only on the CCNP. CCNP is the advanced level of CCNA, where it can give you a base idea and the advanced idea about how the technology works, and in case I have a more users, what protocol need to use exactly, so how it is going to be functioning, and troubleshooting, maintaining, managing, all this kind of stuff which is going to be talked about. So the third hierarchical structure you can see where we have a something called CCIE. What exactly is the CCIE provide? CCIE is Cisco Certified Internet Expert. Actually, CCIE stands for Cisco Certified Internet Expert. The advantage of CCIE is you are master in technology. You are championing this technology where it is going to be talking about. So, whenever you completed the CCIE, so you are done the PhD in the specialization in this courses. So where it is going to be talking about where you can do the configuration from the SOHO organizations to a medium scale enterprise and service provider organizations, where you can configure the devices, manage the devices, troubleshoot the devices, you can design the device. So
Okay.
you can do end-to-end kind of like, So this is what the routing and switching demands about, talk about more into. There are other tracks which is called service provider. You can see the second one.
Mhm.
So what exactly the service provider provides? So service provider, you can see there are different types of service providers we have. For instance, as small office, home office service providers, medium scale, large scale, enterprise service providers. What is the difference between the service providers? What exactly the functionality of service providers? So service provider provide a services to end user. For instance, Beam Telecom is a service provider where it can provide a services to end user. Who is the end user? The home-based connection.
Okay.
So what happened? I'm using a simple internet connection where I'm accessing all kind of resources. Like it can be my private network with using a VPN technology. It can be my internet access, internet domains which I'm trying to access. So all this can be possible using a service provider.
Okay. So for example, if we take something like a Comcast or something, so does only these kind of things come into service provider, or is there something else also? Like you're talking about the VPN, the remote connection, and all.
Yeah, I'll talk about the VPNs and other stuff which is going to come under the security actually. So I'm giving you an example. The what service provider? Service provider means the Beam Telecom is a service provider. But VPN, where you are accessing from VPN, you are accessing from your laptop, right? Which
Yep.
can be private to you only. It is service provider nowhere interfering, and service provider don't know what exactly communication you are taking place. So something which is completely isolated.
Okay.
So which is service provider just knows they are providing you internet connection for them, right?
Okay.
So it is comes to the service provider. There are different sectors we have. So one is security and service provider.
I think there's a loss of the voice actually.
So yeah, unfortunately lost the power, because it just started today itself. To speak.
Oh, that's okay, no problem.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, the account which I have taken is it is on trial period with this GoToMeeting thing, so it will be valid for it is free for 30 days. Yeah,
Okay. Free for 30 days, right?
yeah, free for 30 days. That is the thing actually. So it started yesterday, and it will be valid for another 30 days.
Okay, not a problem. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, let me walk through this. The second track we are talking about the service provider. So I just talked about the base level of the service provider, but there are other service provider which I am talking about the medium scale. For instance, Satyam is a big corporation and a company with service provider providing the services to companies. The company in the sense there are number of users are more, so they have using a different kind of features like a Vivo IP technology and the video technology, data technology, private communication, which we call as an intranet. There are three types of communications. One is internet, and the second one is intranet, and the third one is extranet. So what exactly the difference between these three? So internet is just a kind of like accessing all kind of public domains. For instance, Facebook, Yahoo, email, Google, right? So we know what is internet. It's just all tools, whatever the domains which we are accessing, it comes under the internet.
Okay.
Intranet. What is meant by intranet exactly? Intranet means a private to your offices. For instance, the bank. You can take as example. The bank, I'm accessing. My bank is located in some Hyderabad location, Banjara, one
Okay.
of the examples. So I'm trying to communicate the other bank located in bank. So these are the two only the internal communications between these banks. So there is no external domain coming into the picture, or you are not accessing any internet site. It's a private to your communication, which we are calling as a intranet. So
Okay.
there is something called extranet. What is it by extranet? Extranet in the sense, for instance, I am using a laptop in my home. I am accessing the internet. Okay. But
Okay.
at the same time, I'm accessing a VPN. What is meant by VPNs? VPNs means virtual private network. What exactly it provides? It provides a dedicated communication as same like a private communication. It's a private channel between when you are accessing only the company resource data. There are two type of traffic it is going to be split by using the same connection. One is internet, which is isolated, then intranet. So which we are calling as the extranet. It's a dedicated to one when the internal communication. When the external communication, it will be accessible via internet. So these are the communications which can be provided by the medium split.
Could you please repeat this extranet thing? I'm not able to get it actually.
Okay, so extranet. Extranet means what? For instance, let me take you an example. I'm the company. I'm located in one of my companies. Okay, or might be I'm sitting in Portland today.
Okay.
So today might be I'm sitting in my home. So my company demanded, like, to support their application, the company provided application, business related application.
Okay.
So how I can able to access a company related application? There should be some kind of a company proprietary information cannot be disclosed to internet, right? So what happened? It's a confidential information.
Okay.
Whatever you are accessing, it is private to only the company property. So what in case if you are accessing over the internet?
Okay.
There are a lot of hackers, crackers can able to easily compromise the network, right? The company provided confidential information. So
Okay.
to secure in a way, what happened? You are using there is a separate connections called VPN. VPN means it's a virtual private network.
Okay.
What exactly it provides? So when you are accessing the internet, when you are accessing the private network company, it will split more different traffics. So internet traffic is separately, it will go through the internet only, and intranet, the company provided information, it will tunnel. It will form a dedicated tunnel, and it will pass a same like act as a dedicated connection.
Okay,
So which we are
so
calling
it
as
means that we are trying to access the same information from an external location, right?
external, exactly.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so that is something, the medium scale service providers can able to provide you all these communications. Apart from this, the service providers also provide a private channel. For instance, I have 10 offices located in Hyderabad, different locations. To provide interconnection, the service provider providing the services to communicate all these branches and head offices. There are different type of service providers can provide. For instance, only intranet communication, internet too, because the bank. What happened? Bank guys can able to access internet.
Okay.
So it will be very confidential. Bank transaction always there are a lot of chances of to compromise, right? So they don't need any internet access. For that case, they are going to only demand intranet communication. So how they can able to provide? So the service provider is going to provide the services only internal communication. They are just routing the traffic between the offices, nothing they are doing. So to provide that services, the medium scale service providers are able to provide a different services. I'm giving you an example. There are other kind of services. Example, Satyam Corporation. Satyam Corporation have connections. There are a number of users accessing internal communication as well as external. The internet is a mandatory for any company, right? For example, Google accessing or business related applications where you can find the information. For instance, you are a technical support engineer. So what happened? You are not able to find the information. So how you can able to? There are documents which you can read and get the information, right? So it will be very flexible. So now internet is also one of the part of business related applications. So it will be provide you a lot of assistance support from the business where you can instant get and support. Using these documents, we can able to find some information to help other people and to diagnose the problems. So that's the reason what happened. The service provider can provide a two communications, whereas intranet and internet both. In the sense, between the offices they can provide and internet communications also they can provide. So how it is going to be differentiated between the internal and external? So based on the IP address, the service provider provides Basically, there is a logical address schema. I talked about in detail. I'm just giving you an overview here, the service provider, how the service provider works. So they can, based on the IP address, they are going to differentiate.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there are other service providers, enterprise. What exactly the enterprise service provider provides? They are the one who is going to a bunch of, they are holding a bunch of bandwidth. So they can provide only the services to a medium scale service providers. For example, a Satyam taken the connection from Bharati Airtel, but Bharati Airtel got the connection from where? AT&T. AT&T is the enterprise service providers. What exactly they are doing? So from the US to India, if I want to communicate. So how the communication taking place? So there are a lot of cables inside the sea. They laid already pre-established and a huge bandwidth going passing between these countries. So they already have been pre-established. Instead of this small service provider and medium service provider to establish, it will take a lot of time. So instead of that, what happened? They are taking a services from the AT&T and they are buying a bandwidth from them and providing services to end users.
Okay.
Okay. So these are the different service providers we have. So in the CCNA service provider, if you can see the CCNA service provider, you can able to see only it is going to talk about so what exactly the service provider technology, what protocols to choose. For instance, I have a 500 users. So what exactly the protocol I have to run internal? If I am communicating to external domain, which protocol I can run? So what is the best design? Do I need a redundancy? So let's talk about the basic technology of everyday. How the service provider provides services, what kind of different services it provides, like MPLS.
Okay.
It's one of the technology. It's a multi-protocol label switching. So what exactly it provides? It can provide a more speed. So how it can provide? So it talked about all this technology. When it comes to CCNP, Cisco Certified Network Professional Service Provider specialization, it talks about more in detail about the troubleshooting, and you can build a enterprise networks, you can configure the enterprise networks, you can troubleshoot, you can manage, you can maintain. All this stuff can be possible in the CCNP level. And also you can able to do a little bit of design to understand the technology and hardware platform, the architecture. There are many stuff. So you can able to understand in detail advanced level in the CCNP. There are CCIE, let's say you are a champion and master in the PSP technology, where you can do the diagnostic, where you can configure from the SOHO organization, small office, home office, medium scale enterprise, the large huge service providers, so everything can be possible using after completion of CCIE. CCIE is today seems to be a lot of issues.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I will ensure this cannot be occurred tomorrow for sure. As I was yesterday and today, there are many issues I know.
Okay. Okay.
But tomorrow onwards, I will ensure that this should not be occurred again.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Anyway, I'm going to talking. I'm talking about the service provider. So the third track you can see there is the one more track called service provider operations.
Okay.
So what exactly the service provider operations is talked about? The service provider operation is talk about the ITAL standard. So what is meant by ITAL standard? So any company, for instance, let me take an example. One of the user requesting as I wanted to access Facebook. Sir, can you please allow me? So someone requested. As a network administrator, I received that request. So what to do? Is it mandatory to provide a Facebook access to end user in the company? Because Facebook is what kind of site? It's an entertainment site. It's a social engineering site, social site.
Yeah.
Right? So what happened, some companies, it is required and mandatory requirement because their business grows based on the Facebook. The number of the people there, they might be in the pre-sales. the number of contacts they are going to be established based on the Facebook, right? So, for instance, is a bank employee has requested as a Facebook request.
Okay.
So, as a bank employee, we don't need to access Facebook account because it is not mandatory requirement. In that case, so who is going to justify whether this request makes sense or not,
Okay.
right? So whether this business makes sense or not, so who is going to be make, there should be some kind of team who is going to review all kind of changes.
Okay.
And there is a process which involves, for instance, any user requested, so why you need to have a business justification. What is the purpose? Is it how valid this request business it will be used for? And when you need, and how long you need. When you need in the sense, at what time you need. Do you need instance, urgent, or you can wait for some time? Okay, and how long you can access. So do you want to access 3 months or 1 month or till end to end, completely, permanently? Is it how many users? Is it user for only one particular user? Is it any specific source? Is it specific any destination? So all this going to be talking about the service provider operations. So it is not only going to be talking about the ITL process, we talk about the best practice as well, the hardening of the devices, and other stuff. So it's more related to operation stuff. So how it is done, what is the best practice and other stuff.
Okay.
So the fourth track is called security. What the CCNA security is? CCNA security talks about a basic knowledge of the firewalls. What exactly the firewall does. For instance, example you can take in the security tag. Whenever you go internet center, you just enter the username and password. Do you think it is a secure? Not at all, because there are a lot of tools I can just install and I can just crack the password instantly. Recently, one of the instances I can see, one of my friends even, so we went to internet and before me, so someone entered the username and password, we immediately captured all the details and he's checking what he entered. So it is always recommended, enter the password, remove the password, again re-enter, enter the dummy password. So in that case what happened, it is 2 passwords you are entering, you don't know what is the password. So either it's a complete full page of the password you enter, but he cannot able to trace between the characters. So that's one of the advantages. So security track is one of the, CCNA is talking about the base level, what exactly the security, how you can secure your network. So what is the functionality of the security? For instance, the Apple is an organization which is, there are 2 years from last 2 years they are building a CVOS 6 version 6. So what happened? They spent $1 billion of dollars for just developing this operating system and to make it in a shape and to support many features. So what in case someone hacker has been hacked, hijacked his complete operating system and sell it the same operating system instead of say these guys are selling for thousands of dollars and he can sell just for $100 of dollars.
Okay.
So it will be huge revenue impact, right? So
Yeah.
security is the one of the mandatory requirement if you go any organization, banking, non-banking, IT, non-IT, BPO, any company,
Okay.
right? So in the CCNA security, I talk about a little bit of how you can secure and what kind of attacks we have. For instance, a DOS attack. Recently there is also attack happened. For instance, so they attacked Japan.
Okay.
Japan, one of the server has been hijacked recently. But who has attacked that network? When they are trying to trace the IP, it is India IP they can able to find. But actually what happened, so it is not the India IP. So Pakistani guys has entered into India machines and from India they hijacked to Japan. So it's a proxy they did. So what happened for them, the Japan users, it's the India who did. But actual, what happened in the backend? Who did? The Pakistan. So how it can be avoided? So using a security. There are a lot of devices security which can protect from unnecessary and hackers lot of hackers from unwanted users. So you can protect your data. So how you can protect? So there are a different components which we are talking about. A router you can use, for instance, a small organization. So the router can be acted as the router is a component which can provide a connectivity between the offices. it can be used as a protected security device. So there you need to do some kind of command which you need to execute so that the devices can be act as a firewall feature to protect unnecessary traffic to block, spoofed traffic or unwanted traffic. So, and apart from those, what is the best practice? How you can avoid such kind of attacks and a basic firewall technology. So there is a one more device called IPS, Intrusion Prevention System. So what exactly it does, it contains a list of signatures. For instance, someone coming as a spyware, worm attack. Worm attack, have you heard about worm? What is the worm attack is going to do? So whenever you are copying anything, if you, for example, you might be hello?
Yeah, I can hear you now actually.
Okay. Shikha, sorry. Again, I want this connection.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Let's continue. Yeah,
Okay.
actually,
So
I just recollected that you were asking about minimizing this window, right? Small window.
this one.
The small window, this the screen sharing thing and all. I think it was blocking some of the view for your screen.
Yeah, I think I can see that, right? Small windows. So now
No,
this is not.
this small window. When you click on this first orange button, it will get minimized.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and even when you just place it and drag it, this small bar will also go to the other side of the screen. Actually, you can just move it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, all right. I'm talking about the security. Security, the CCNA talking about the basic, so how you can avoid the threats and how you can protect the network in the medium scale. But in the CCNP, talk about the much more in detail, the medium and enterprise network. So how you can protect. And we talk about much in detail the configuration and the troubleshooting of the device. What is firewalls? What type of firewalls you have? A packet filtering firewall you have, proxy, and stateful. So what exactly the functionality of the three? So why we have a different firewalls? It talks about all kind of. So what is the difference between software-based firewall and hardware-based firewall? So is it mandatory if I'm using an enterprise network and when to use, when not to use? It's all about talking about this kind of technology. In the CCIE security, it is going to be talking about in detail of that, and apart from this, uh, you need to you need to have a idea about the load balancing, how you can protect the load balances, how you can protect the routers, how you can protect the switches, how you can protect the firewalls, so how you can protect the organization, and how you can protect the domain. So it's talking about all this technology in detail. Okay.
Okay,
So
this comes
why?
in security, right?
Yeah, it comes to security. I
Okay.
talked about VPN, right? So
Yeah.
if you remember just now we talked about the extranet.
Yeah.
There is a VPN which they are going to use. There are a different type of VPNs. For instance, when you are using a HTTPS, okay.
Okay.
So what it means, HTTPS in the sense is a hypertext transfer protocol secure. So
Yeah.
there is a SSL certificate which is going to generate and it will forming a tunnel dedicatedly from the server to client. From the browser which you open, it will encrypt all the data
Okay.
securely, very securely.
Okay.
So that is also part of VPN. And there is the other type of VPN. For instance, you want to access a business related application. So anywhere in the world, what happens, you don't need to carry. See, for instance, let's assume you are going to some other XYZ location like India, might be in the foreign location, your native place or something, where
Okay.
you have a just internet connection,
Okay.
but you are not carrying your laptop.
Okay.
Okay. So using a internet connection, there is some other VPNs called web-based VPN. In the sense, as soon as you get the internet connection, you can give a username and password, enter to your company site, and where you can download a plugins. It's a portable solution where you can access the company's application. So that's
Okay.
something called web-based. It's a browser-based. You don't need to have any software installed. There is
Okay.
another type of VPNs called a client software. For instance, in the laptop, where you install a small client software where you are just dialing, connecting to your corporate VPN server and accessing the resources. So that is the
Okay.
one more dedicated VPN. There are other type of VPNs called hardware VPNs, where there is a hardware device which automatically encrypt and decrypt between the corporate offices. So in
Okay.
between from the end PC, I am not encrypting. So some other device, the hardware is dedicatedly encrypting because the number of time, the number of packets is initiating more. So the hardware devices are dedicatedly doing that stuff to provide a more speed. So there are a different type of like VPN technology we have. It all talk about in the security. Okay,
Okay.
and the voice technology.
Okay.
Okay, voice technology, what exactly the voice technology? For instance, let's assume I have a two offices located, one in Hyderabad, the other in US. So what in case I have taken a telephonic connection and initiated a call from India to US. I have to pay hundreds of thousands of rupees for only just a few minutes.
Yeah.
100 of rupees, right? So if I am using only single connection, but in a corporate environment, the company environment, there are thousands of people are working in each and every organization. So what in case thousands of people are started using the VoIP technology? I mean, the telephonic connection, the service provider provided connection, initiated a connection calls from India to US. A lakh of millions of billions of rupees they have to pay to service provider, telecom.
Okay.
So instead of that, there is a dedicated component. There is a few hardware devices. We can name it as a call managers, call manager express, Unity,
Okay.
Unity Express. There are a different kind of hardware devices are available. What that hardware devices are providing? So using that hardware devices, I can install in my Hyderabad office. I can install in my US office. So instead of taking a dedicated telephonic connection for everyone, what I'm just buying a VoIP phone, voice over IP. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm dedicatedly configuring these devices to provide a VoIP communication between the offices. So what it means, like the quality at 10 times, I can say 100 times better than what the quality is provided by the telephonic companies you will get. It's a digitalized communication where you are talking to each other when telephonic conversation between
Okay.
the offices. And it is just for the free of cost. Free in the sense just using a existing internet connection, you are just establishing your VoIP connection. So you are not paying any more extra as you are just using a data communication, the same internet connection you are using for the VoIP communication. So how this is just a very cheap solution compared to not even a 1%. The analysis says not even a 1% you are paying compared to the telephone connections what you are paying. So it is
Okay.
only between the two offices example I'm telling you. So in a company environment, like a example, like you can take a Mahindra Satyam is located in hundred of companies, or you
Okay.
can take Infosys located in hundred of companies. So how much charges are applicable if they are using a telephonic? It's very much impossible to maintain.
Yeah.
Using a VoIP technology, it is very flexible, and it is not only just a VoIP connection. You can store. For instance, I am not available on my desk. Okay. So
Okay.
what happened? I can leave a voice message saying that, hey, I will not available. It's a voice message. After some time, what happened? This voice record message is going to be stored in the server. So you can retrieve the messages. So for instance, I want to retrieve the 1 year back information. You can do that pretty much using the VoIP technology. Whereas other telephonic companies, you cannot able to retrieve such kind of fast data, very far data.
Yeah.
So apart from this, there are many other features which can provide a VoIP technology. For instance, IVR. What is meant by IVR? For instance, you are calling a telephonic company or any company, a manufacturing company. First they will say, press 1 to go to a customer A. Press 2 if you are an existing customer.
Yeah.
Press 3. So how is it is going to be working the technology? Because there is a program, there is a component which is they are configuring based on that. The IVR is going to redirect automation system. It's automatically redirecting based on your inputs.
Okay.
So how beautiful this VoIP technology is. If you are taking this analog connection, it is not possible at all.
Yeah.
Okay, so there are many features in VoIP if we talk about. In the CCNA, it talks about the basic technology,
Mm-hmm.
what kind of components you are going to be. And if you talk about the CCNP, it's an advanced technology, all the configuration, troubleshooting, and managing the devices. So how you can ensure that. And enterprise level, it is going to talk about CCI, where you are in the specialization in this technology. So without voice, for instance, if you take in any other country, when you buy any product, there will be a toll payment, right? If you don't know how to use, immediately you are calling. So where it is going to redirect, it will redirect to company people, and company can assist you. So how you can use this? So what technology they are using? They are also using the same technology called VoIP. Because of that only, it is possible all the kind of communication very flexible and easy.
Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah.
wireless technology. What wireless technology is providing? For instance, I'm a roaming user. I'm a guest user. I may be a VIP. Okay, or maybe someone, maybe the outsider coming as a VIP persons. So using VIP persons cannot be able to carry every time the cables, right?
Yeah.
They always like roaming around with the laptops,
Mm-hmm.
business meetings, and meeting rooms, conference rooms, and going a meeting, attending meeting with the some other cable. So what in case he is having this cable? So you cannot able to carry each and every time the cable, right? The
Yeah.
Wi-Fi is a very flexible. Wherever you go, you can able to carry it out. It's a just kind of flexibility where you can access anywhere in the campus or anywhere in the company. For instance, you can take as an example mobile. Mobile is working on based on what? Wi-Fi technology. What in case mobile having a Wi-Fi? It is very much impossible. You cannot able to carry a car, mobile, right?
Yeah.
So using the Wi-Fi, how flexible you can carry? You can carry, you can go to anywhere, any different state, any location. It's just easily flexible. You are just carrying the equipment, that device called cell phone. But how it is working based on the Wi-Fi technology.
Okay.
Okay. For instance, when you are taking any traffic police stations or any traffic signals, you can able to see the camera. So if you are laying the cable, what happened tomorrow in India, you know, right? What exactly? If you configure, if you plug in the cable, the next day they are going to breaking the cable. For the funny reason, there are many reasons. So they are also using the Wi-Fi technology. What happened Wi-Fi? Just using a camera, we can able to monitor all kind of traffic, right? So it is
Yeah.
very flexible and easy instead of laying cable which will be very headache and every time there should be possibility reasons it can be broken any. So the Wi-Fi is a flexible and roaming users it will be very useful. Nowadays if you can see there is a upcoming technology, for instance, if you are not available in your home, you went
Okay.
somewhere. You can operate your home, the door unlock and locking remotely, sitting anywhere in the world. Just you need to have an internet access. There is a program, there is a applications which is available. And not only that, you can control your entire electrical system. In the sense you can power off your AC, you can power off your AC, and you can switch off your washing machine. Remotely you can sit anywhere in the world, it is possible. Because based on the IP address.
Okay.
So nowadays, like this technology is coming up. It's a digitalized technology. So all it is possible with the network engineers. Without network engineers, nothing is possible.
Okay.
So this is the reason the networking technology is booming up. Every day it never ends. Every day some new technology is coming. They need a network engineer. The new technology is coming. Any equipment. Uh, if you can see a few recently there was an announcement. The car is running automatically. On what basis? There is a software which is running on software what basis it is going to run. It needs to have an internet access. It needs to have an IP address. So that it can automatically going to look for the direction based on the software who is coming. It is a recognition. So if anyone coming on the front, it will automatically recognize and control based on that. You
Okay.
know. So how it is possible because of the IP. So who is going to manage these devices? It's a network engineer. So anywhere, if you take the programming language, earlier what happened, there is a C language. After some time what happened, C++ has been introduced. After some time, Java. After again, .NET. And again, PHP. So it's always continuous process like, the new software is coming, new you have to learn. But in the networking world, once you learn the technology, that's all. It's that the existing one still never going to end. It will be still useful. If any new technology comes, you can learn, but doesn't mean the existing will not work. Existing still works and the new technology you are learning. So how beauty in the networking world. So that's the reason people are morely preferring the networking courses
Okay.
and networking for the profiles.
Okay.
Okay, so Wi-Fi we talked about much and the data centers. Let's talk about the data centers. Data center technology is a one technology. What exactly? For instance, let's take an example. You are the end user. You deposited today 10 lakh rupees in the bank. So what happened tomorrow? There was an incident happened, tsunami or some lava or something happened, and due to that, my entire bank database has been completely flushed.
Okay.
So tomorrow when you ask, you went to bank and you said, hey, I have deposited 10 lakhs. Can you check I would like to withdraw the amount. So what happened? The bank guy is able to try to find your information, but they are not able to see. They are not able to verify your data. What is the guarantee you are deposited 10 lakhs?
Okay.
Right? So what exactly the data center provide? So they are providing a centralized database. What it means, for instance, my bank data center located in one in Chennai, one in Hyderabad, one in Gurgaon, one in Bangalore. In the India itself, these many data centers I have. And geographical location, one in India, one in US, one in Japan, one in any other location. So what happened, anytime when you are saving the data, when you deposited this 10 lakh rupees, they are just saving the data. So do you think it's a saving the data only one location? No. It's a 10 copies saving the different 10 different geographical locations.
Okay.
So one in Chennai, one in Hyderabad, one in Bangalore. What happened if in case the Chennai lost? You still able to retry from the Bangalore server.
Yeah.
Right? So it's a flexibility of the data center. So how the backend, the devices which you are dealing, the Nexus, the operating system, how you can the data start storing, so how it is retrieving, and what is the possibility, what is the redundancy, so how you can ensure the primary and secondary synchronizing. It's all going to be talked about in the data center.
Okay.
Okay. So video, what exactly the video provide? On-demand instant meeting. Nowadays I cannot able to see someone, so I want to set instant meeting to meet my manager, which is located in somewhere in my USA location. I am located in Hyderabad. So what happened? This guy wanted to talk to me immediately. So in instant meeting, there is a telepresence, the technology which we are calling about the new technology, telepresence. What exactly the feature provide? So whenever you want to assign any instant meeting video, just you are in front of him. You can see him directly and talk to each other immediately.
Okay.
And there is a other flexibility. For instance, I am a VP or you are a VP for one company. You want to ensure whatever the announcement you are announcing, the company related information, it has to be passed across entire organization. It is a business meeting. Using the software, the video conference, the speech which is announcing by the VP, everyone can be able to listen, whoever interested in the organization. So in case you have any questions, you can also speak to him. So it's a kind of face-to-face interaction between. So everyone, the audience, whichever is seeing, they can able to see everyone speaking on over this video conference. So it's a kind of like, the feature which provides a more flexible. It's a kind of face-to-face interaction. So the people located in Japan, China, they cannot come all together one location, right? It is very much impossible.
Yeah.
Where the virtualization, virtually they can attend anywhere in the world, but they can see each other using the video technology. So in the video technology, we don't have any CCNP or CCAE. It just recently has been introduced, the CCNA video. Okay. So the first one you can see there is a I have written something called CCDA.
Yeah.
That stands for Cisco Certified Design Associate. Cisco Certified Design Associate, why it has been introduced, the reason for introducing the CCDA, for instance, let's assume my manager asked me to configure, hey, we are planning the 500 users, can you establish end-to-end network? So what is your thinking? So when this guy is saying 500 users, I need to take a proper precautions and more in detail. For instance, example, I need to ask the first question I'm going to raise, what exactly you wanted to access? In other way of asking, in the data itself, there are a different type of data. Okay, for instance, internet. Do you want to access internet as well? Do you want to access intranet? Do you want to access VoIP technology? Do you want to access Wi-Fi technology? Do you want to access video technology? Because these are the different components which is dealing. VoIP, the dedicated phone is available. The internet and intranet is where you need to have a dedicated, a different service provider which is going to be provided, right? And the video, which you need to have a software which is installed, the software programs, and if in case you need to have a webcams also. A different kind of technology we have. Wi-Fi, it's a roaming users where you need to. If in case the Wi-Fi technology, I cannot able to provide all the users because the static users, the people who are sitting every day in the same place, what happens? They are able to access using the cable. The Wi-Fi I can able to provide only the guest users, might be the VIPs. Or Wi-Fi I can use as a redundancy. In case my LAN cable goes bad, I can use the secondary as my Wi-Fi. So the requirement we need to take properly, and based on that we need to provide. For instance, he said 500 users. So you are expecting the 500 users, but do you have any plan to thought to increase the 1,000 seaters or 1,500 seaters? So what is the maximum range after the 5 years you are looking for? Because we need to consider the future also at minimum 5 years or 2 years, 2 to 3 years I can say, a minimum and maximum 10 years you can see what is the range of the increase. Based on that we can advance, right? So how you can plan? Do you need a redundancy? For instance, I am using a laptop, one cable connection. So one cable I am connecting to my PC. What in case the cable contract? Do you need a redundancy such kind of like dual port? If in case the two ports are connecting only one device or switch, what happens? The switch itself, the device itself is down. The entire network is down. So do you need the redundancy of that? Do you need a dual redundancy of ISP connection, where the internet connection? So it's all requirement you need to take. So how you can justify it is going, the CCDA is going to talk about all the designing and the requirement, what exactly it is talking about. Okay?
Okay.
Alright. So why these many platforms? See, in the networking, I have described the 3 types of job roles which we have: system admin, networking, hardware. In the networking itself, we can see these many flavors we have, right? Every flavor have a different kind of functionality, its own functionality. So why do you really need to be a certified? So my question, like, for instance, in the CCNA, you can see the routing and switching, it have a one paper you can take, or you can take 2 papers. So to appear in the exam, either you can choose a one paper or you can take a 2 paper. The advantage of one paper, it's a only single time you are appearing the exam. When you are taking the 2 exams, the advantage of 2 exams, you are going to get a more time. Okay. So time in the sense, instead of spending a 2 hours, you are going to get 120 plus 120. Altogether you are going to get a 4 hours. So in the first exam it is going to be a very basics. The second exam is going to be a little bit of complexity. The reason for Cisco certifications are more popular, it is compared, it's as like a real world. In the sense, it is not only just asking you a fill in the blanks or a drag and drop or match the following. It will ask you a simulators where you are going to execute few commands to get the output. hey, can you configure the router? What is the basic configuration of the protocol? What is the ACL? Kind of stuff. It's a related to something, real world which you are going to execute. So that's the reason, like, the certifications are really very worth when you are completing it. And the certification is not only just the namesake of the certification. The advantage of the Cisco certification, the companies, the employers are looking for the certification guys. Because the reason, the number of certification guys going to hire in the company, the more when you are buying any product. For instance, today I am going to buy one of the equipment called iOS router. It costs around 5 to 10 crores. If I am buying such kind of equipment from the company, if you have a more certified guys, the more discount you are going to get. See how useful this is. The number of certification guys are more available in the company, the more discount you are going to get. It's not only just a buying the product and you are going to get a discount. And apart from this, they are going to provide a different kind of support, a silver partner, a golden, diamond, platinum, a different type of support they are going to provide. For instance, you are not in a position to handle such kind of issues. So who is the next level? So might be your superior is not able to. None of the company guys can able to solve the problem. So what is the next level you are going to take? Approach the vendor. So when you are approaching the vendor, they are going to charge you usually if you take any other Citrix or Microsoft, any other vendor. But Cisco is going to provide the number of certification guys are more in your company, the more support they are going to get.
Okay.
So that's one of the advantages. That's the reason that people are looking for the certification. When you go with the Microsoft certification, what happens? It's just certified. Yes, you are already has been identified as a certified, and they don't need to prove in the interview. The more related, they are not going to ask as like a certified. So in the Cisco, it is not only just a certified guys or you are already has been proved or something. It is there are a lot of other advantages like a product discount, like a product support. The company is going to get a benefit, when they are hiring you as a certified guys, right? So that's the reason the certifications are more common.
Okay. Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So CCNA, the first one exam will cost you $290.
Mm-hmm.
If you are taking individual papers, it will cost you $150 for each paper.
Okay.
So either you can take one exam or you can take two exams. So I recommend one exam should be fine because there are a lot of flexibility where you can able to pass it. I'll tell you that. Okay. So in the CCNP you have 3 papers. So one is routing. The first paper called routing. The second paper called switching. The third paper called troubleshoot. So there are 3 papers we have, and each paper will cost you $150 USD. Okay.
Okay.
So in the CCA exam, there are 2 exams. The first one is written. The second one is lab exam. Written exam will cost $350 USD. The lab exam will cost $1,500 USD. So the written exam is a just exam where you need to appear a 2 hours exam. You need to appear. It is just a simulation. The exams are going to be a combination of a few match the following. Match the following in the sense they will ask you, this is the question so and so, and they will give you answer, choose any one. So you need to make a decision. All 4 questions, all 4 answers seems to be similar, the same like it is matching the similar to the question, but you need to justify which one makes sense. So based on that, they can provide you marks. And not only choose one, they may ask you out of 5, choose 3. 3 are the correct answers. You have to choose. And apart from that, there are a drag and drop. So which protocols are useful for this routing protocol, where you need to justify which one is the routing protocol. That kind of stuff they are going to ask you.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
And the lab exam is the 8 hours lab exam where dedicatedly hands-on you need to practice and you need to execute all kind of features which they are asking you. Based on that, they are going to give you points. Okay.
Okay.
So I am already certified into the routing and switching and service provider virtualization, where I already completed the CCA.
Okay. So you can opt any number of streams, or all these streams are separate from one another?
Say that again, come again, I really didn't.
No, actually, what my question is, we have been talking about this routing and switching, service provider, security, voice, and all things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all of these are separate streams from each other.
Exactly, these are the separate individual streams, but
Okay.
it will be a fall under end of the day what? It's fall under the same as an umbrella called networking. So
Okay.
networking is a huge ocean. It's not a small concept.
Yeah,
It's an
definitely.
ocean. It's a sub pillars inside the when I am saying inside the roof there are a lot of sub pillars. This is the sub flavors of each and individual flavors.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So
So
we can learn any number of streams, right? So it doesn't collide with
exactly.
one another.
Correct.
Okay.
Exactly. So there are a correlated between, so when you are appearing routing switching, what happened without routing switching, the security is not possible. So
Okay.
when you have the communication, then only the security comes next, right? Security is just you are protecting the network, how you are protecting. But before protecting, the communication should be there, right? Which is the
Yeah.
routing and switching. So they
Yeah.
are interrelated as well. Okay.
Okay. So routing and switching is the foundation for networking. Is it what?
Exactly. This is the base foundation. If you go any other track, the routing and switching is must and mandatory, because
Okay.
the routing and switching is the only way the network are going to talk to each other. The establishment of the components within the campus, which we call as a LAN, local area network, within the metropolitan, which we are called as a MAN, within the a different geographical location, which we call as a WAN, wide area network. So
Okay.
there are a different type of communications component which is dealing. So it is only going to be talked about the routing and switching. It's a basic platform. Before you approach any other platform, routing switching is must and mandate to understand the concepts. So it is not only just talking about what exactly the routing switching. It's talking about the technology, how it works, the
Okay.
protocol which you are implementing. So how it is communicating. So within the SOHO organization, how you can establish. A medium scale, how you can establish. We talk about all kind of technology. So what layers it is. If application which is accessing, what exactly the application does. So how the functionality of this. So what exactly this router switch is going for. So it's in detail of each and every component we are going to discuss.
Okay.
So I'm going to stop here. Before that, do you have any questions?
Yeah. Only one thing is that is it anywhere related to cloud? I mean, the networking is related to cloud technology.
Yeah, cloud is kind of like, I can explain to you, it's not a small concept. The cloud is not like what happened. I'll give you one small example. Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
For instance, like, when I'm airport, you can take GMR airport. The
Okay.
GMR airport complete network setup has been done by myself.
Okay.
Okay. So the GMR airport, you can take an example that there are a number of airlines or more, Kingfisher, SpiceJet, Indica, right? There are
Yeah.
many have a different kind of airlines we have. So what happened, instead of like I want to purchase a one equipment, the firewall, which is the most expensive, maybe it's a 10 crores. So
Okay.
instead of buying a one device for every airline, so what we did, we purchased, we verified what is the functionality of the firewall. There is a functionality firewall, a dedicated the hardware, the physical hardware I can split a multiple virtual firewall. It acts as the same like a dedicated firewall and provide the same features as a individual dedicated firewall. So why don't we buy a two firewalls which you can use as a failover and provide a services to all airlines. So which will be acting as a cloud. Cloud means what? The common sharing resource. Instead of spending a too many money, so what I'm just buying a single hardware where it is providing a services, a shared services.
Okay.
So what happened? It's a cheap solution. So instead of a multiple network engineers can manage, the one engineer can able to manage. It's a flexible. right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's an advantage, I can tell you. There are other advantages even I can describe even the more cloud about. So cloud is nothing but it's a virtualization where it's a commonly shared resource as saving your money, saving the cost. A
Okay.
blade server. One server I can take you an example, it's a blade server. In the server you have a DNS is one server, DHCP is one server, AD is one server, authentication is one server, radius is one server. Like in the companies you have many number of servers.
Okay.
2008 server, antivirus server, like many servers you have. So what in case if you are maintaining a dedicated end-to-end a particular server, so you need to allocate a dedicated hardware. What in case the hardware fails? You need to have a redundancy, right? So
Yeah.
to maintain this, there are complexities more. So instead of that, what happened? There is a separate server called Blade server. What I'm using, I'm just inserting the modules. So each and every blade is acting as an individual role. So in case of blade 1 fails, the blade 2 is still going to be accessible. So what exactly that provides? It's a virtualization. You can just rightly can create a VMs, virtual machines, so where it is acting as the same like a dedicated machine and it is going to run at dual power. So dual hardware, dual process, the CPU. It's a common one server you built it, multiple services you are running on the same server.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the advantage, the hardware you are saving, the power you are saving, the space you are saving, the man resource you are saving.
Yeah.
That's what the cloud is talking about.
Okay. So it is also a part of networking, right?
Yeah, it's a part of networking. See, everything is part of networking.
Okay.
The
Okay.
system admin, the role and everything. So the cloud which is comes under the mostly cloud in the sense don't think it's a only one platform. So cloud in the sense the networking have a different cloud technology, the system have a different cloud technology, the server have a different cloud technology, the application have a different cloud technology. You know, cloud in the sense when we say is cloud, it's a common feature. That's what I
Okay.
described. So every flavors have their own cloud. So VoIP technology have its own cloud, security have its own cloud. It's everything.
Oh,
It's a virtualization, nothing.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Sushma. So I'm really sorry. Like today, a lot of problems,
Yeah. Sure.
and tomorrow we'll ensure about this. And I'm sure I will promise you, like I'll give my level best to ensure and you are up to the mark. If you go in the industry, I'm not looking just a course to complete you. I'm looking you to do a practice oriented where you should be equal to more than 2+ years of experience. You should
Okay.
not differentiate, 2+ years guys and between you. So you
Okay.
should be more capable to do even the more stuff. So that's the reason I'm looking, so I can boost you that level confidence because I have 2+ years of experience. I can give you a real-time example too, and I can give you a lot of examples which will be very beneficial for you.
Okay.
Okay?
Sure. Sure.
So I'm going to stop here. So I took a lot of time. I know it is very too late for you, but still, the class which, usually I won't take this much of time. I'm taking you an example because you need to know what exactly this, the flavors is talking about.
Yeah. Sure.
So
Sure.
that's the reason I took a little more time to explain all this.
Yeah. Sure. Actually, this class was very much interesting. Actually, thanks for the class.
No problem. So see you then tomorrow. So we'll ensure about this disturbance should not be occur. I think Citrix is a very good application. In fact,
Yeah.
the AT&T is the one of the beautiful applications, but Citrix is also one of the good application I see. So
Yeah.
you are comfortable, right?
Yeah. I'm comfortable with
Tool?
it. Yeah.
Okay, we can use the same tool then.
Sure.
Okay.
And
All right
also,
then.
one last question I have is among all the streams we have discussed today, in terms of job opportunities, which one do you feel has more opportunities than one another? Is there any
Okay,
comparison with it?
very good question. See, when you take routing and switching, okay,
Okay.
the number of opportunities, 100 openings today we have in the market.
Okay.
If you go to security, you may have a 50%
Oh,
opportunity.
okay.
If you
Okay.
go with the service provider, 20%. If you go
Okay.
with the voice, 10%. The
Okay.
ratio, the platform, every platform have opening. Doesn't mean this platform have more openings than this platform. See, the routing switching number of competition, the 100 openings we have, the number of competition is 200, 1:2.
Yeah. Okay.
The voice also, the number of engineers are very less. So
Okay.
every platform if you take, any platform you take, there are always openings, I can say,
Okay. Okay.
wherever you go.
Okay.
And in fact, like, I got on a lot of opportunities in US, but due to the visa problem, I'm stuck.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. So the openings are, any platform if you take, the number of openings are more. It doesn't matter, like, so the only thing you need to concentrate, which flavor you like. Do you like a VoIP technology? Do you like a security? Do you like a routing and switching? Once you complete this course, you can understand which stream I have to go, which stream I am comfortable. So based on your interest, you can choose any one of the specialization. It doesn't mean only one specialization I can go to. You can learn all the technology simultaneously, because if you go any organization, they are looking always multi-skilled person. What is meant
Yeah.
by multi-skilled person in the sense? A dual role. If you know the VoIP technology and also the routing switching technology, so what happens, so it will be advantage. The companies are really eagerly looking. So in case the security guy is not available today, you are in a position to handle it, that's right.
Yeah.
So that's the reason it is always good to have a dual platform specialization. So it's
Okay.
not
Okay.
bad. See, end of the day, I believe the IT is the only one stream. So if you learn the multimedia, if you learn the scripting, if you learn the technology, if you learn the networking, doesn't matter. Somewhere it will be useful, end of the day. If you learn any kind of related to IT, it will be useful somewhere in the world. So it
Okay.
doesn't
Okay.
mean it is not waste anything,
Okay.
right?
Yep.
All right, I'm stopping here. So it was nice talking to you today. Then see you tomorrow.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for the session.
Bye-bye.